Welcome to Drill Down Earnings. We have the latest results from Advanced Micro Devices, AMD. I'm Cory Johnson, Chief Market Strategist for Epistrophy Capital Research. We look at the 50 most important companies in all of technology. AMD is absolutely one of those companies, advancing where only one other company is right now, that being NVIDIA. So how do these second quarter earnings look like? Well, they're a little bit better than Wall Street's expectations. Earnings were not. In fact, it was a confusing quarter with some weird charges, and the stock is not responding well to this. So let's talk about it a little bit. Second quarter financial results for this company. Good numbers, $7.7 billion, gross margins of 40%, losing money because of some charges in the quarter, because net income of $872 million, but an operating loss of $134 million. They're losing money on an operating basis, but showing almost $1 billion in profits. Confusing quarter. So let's look. AI is driving growth here, 32% growth on a year-over-year basis, despite not great data center results. We dig it in a little bit deeper. Gross profit of $3 billion, 40% gross margins, as I mentioned here. And while operating margins were negative, $872 million, as I mentioned, in net income. A record quarter for the company, but they had an $800 million charge for inventory and related charges because they couldn't sell their MI308 GPUs for most of the quarter. They couldn't sell for any of the quarter. They have applied for an import license now that the US has said they're going to drop the bans on some of these things, but their inability to sell it led to the big charge, which is why you had that negative number in terms of operating results here, and operating profit margins of negative 2%. So what is AMD today, right? It's a different company that was in the past. 42% of revenues, even in this quarter, were from data centers, with their client and PC business at 32% of revenues, gaming at 15%, and embedded at 11%. But the data center business did grow at 14% on a year-over-year basis, $3.2 billion, which did set some records for this quarter in cloud and enterprise CPU sales. But while they talked about wins at Google and Oracle and Dell, they also saw the slowest revenue growth they've seen in almost 2 years for that business. That their client PC business, however, took off. Their Ryzen 9000 desktop CPUs just did fantastically here, really kind of taking over places that Intel once was, seeing 67% year-over-year growth with wins at HP and Lenovo and Dell. And the gaming business, the moribund gaming business, has just been absolutely surging with custom chip collaborations they had with Microsoft and Sony. The Radeon 9600 XT has been the sort of the hot PC GPU for PC gamers, which is all the rage here. And their embedded business cooling off, not that important for this company, given all the other things going on here, all the other moving parts. The market did not like these results, so the stock sold off 3%, up 29% for the year going into this print. And it really was about data center and when is China going to happen here? Because they didn't say it's going to be done in 90 days, they're going to get these licenses approved, they just don't know. And they warned in both the press release and the conference call that they didn't know when the China results were going to happen. So the data center cooling dented their overall sales results, even though sales were up on a year-over-year basis. Here's Advanced Micro Devices CEO Lisa Su.
I think the focus here on ensuring that U.S. technology gets utilized throughout the world is something that we certainly support and very much want to contribute to. China is an important market for us. Given the timing of licenses, we have a number of licenses that are under review now. We are working with the Department of Commerce to get those reviewed. We do expect that once those licenses are approved, we will start MI308 shipments. In terms of the supply chain, most of our inventory was not in finished goods, so it was work in process, and it'll take us a couple quarters to run through that. The exact timing of revenue and contribution will depend a bit on when those are, when the licenses are actually granted. But overall, I think this is a better position than we were 90 days ago.
So a better position than 90 days ago, perhaps. But waiting for these China data center sales is indeed, it is literally the slow boat to China that we're waiting on here. But what's the big earnings takeaway? What's your drill down earnings bite? The one number that means a whole lot? Well, AMD Advanced Micro Devices Q2, the number you want to remember is not the 32% growth. It's not the fact that they had a record of $7.7 billion in sales in the quarter. I think the thing that really sticks out about this quarter is the decline in the China sales, the inventory hit that they took. And while the data center business was, and here's your number, $3.24 billion in revenues in the quarter, it was less than it has been the previous 2 quarters, and we don't know when the China business will resume again for AMD. Follow us, please subscribe to us. It really helps if you follow us and subscribe to us on YouTube at Drill Down Pod, or on Instagram and TikTok at Drill Down Pod, or of course on X at Cory TV.